Now, if we have a free competitive market, the price of a product is determined by the relationship between supply and demand. So if P equals D of X and P also equals S of X are the price demand and price supply equations respectively for product. And if we have the X bar, P bar is the point of intersection of these equations, then P bar is going to be the equilibrium price and X bar is going to be the equilibrium quantity. Now, if the price stabilizes at the equilibrium price P bar, and this is the price level that will determine both the consumer's surplus and the producer's surplus. So what we're going to do in this problem is we're going to say, okay, well, let's set these equal, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cross these out. Otherwise, I'm going to use these because those are more prominent. And we're going to use these equations instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to set d of x equal to s of x. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to find x bar. All right, so if we set those equal, what do we have? We have 25 minus 0.001x squared equals 5 plus 0.1x. Now, let's take, and it doesn't matter which way we go. We could subtract 5 and subtract 0.1x, subtract 5, subtract 0.1x. And so if we write the powers in decreasing powers, that's a minus 0.121x squared minus 0.1x. 25 minus 5 is going to be plus 20 equals 0. Now I'm going to make it so I can factor this, or I can plug in my calculator and it could give me the factors, but I'm just going to say, okay, well, let's factor it by getting rid of that, making this 1. So if I multiply by a negative 1,000, that gives me x squared, and then I'm going to have plus 100x, and then I'm going to have minus 20,000 equals 0. And so if I multiply those together, I'm going to have x plus and an x minus. The plus has to be bigger, so let's say we have 200 and 100. That's going to give us four zeros. That should be four zeros. 100. So then we get x is equal to a minus 200 and a positive 100. Now, these are going to actually be x bars when we get done. These are going to be our x bars. So that's going to be what we're looking for here. And so 200 that's negative is not going to work, but x bar equals 100 could work. So that would be our value we're going to use. Okay. So what are we going to do now? Well, let's figure out what is that equal to up here for our P with the demand and the supply. So if we plug those in, D of 100 equals what? Well, 25 minus 0.001 times 100 squared. And we have S of 100 is equal to 5 plus 0.1 times 100. And so if we plug that in, 0.001 times 100 squared, that's going to be minus 10. So 25 minus 10 is going to be 15. Here we're going to have 5 plus, and that's going to be 100 times that. So that's going to be 10 plus 5. So that's going to be 15. And so that's kind of our break-even point. They're both equal. And so if we draw a graph, so we're going to have one that's going to be kind of coming up like this, and we're having that other one that comes down like this. So this, well, close to that, x bar is equal to 100. And looks like here our p bar is equal to what? Well, it looks like both of those are going to be equal, so that's going to be p bar is equal to 15. And so what do we say up here? Well, that's our C of S. Down here, that's our P of S. Okay. So now what we want to do is find the consumer's surplus and the producer's surplus at that point here where we have that equilibrium. So to do that, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go from 0 to 100. And let's do, I guess, the top one. Let's do CS first, consumer. And so we'll take the top line, which is the straight line, which is going to be how are we going to do this? Let's make sure I have this right here. Uh, do, 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 do. That's the demand. Wait, P of X, S of X. Okay. So we're gonna have 25 minus 0.001 x squared, and we're gonna subtract off of that the 15 because that's our P prime, and then dx. Okay, so yep, so we have that now. Now, 25 minus 15 is what? 10. So the integral of that's going to be 10x. Then we have minus 0.001x cubed over 3 from 0 to 100. Again, 0 is not going to do anything, so we'll have 10 times 100 minus 0.001 times 100 cubed divided by 3. And where'd my parentheses there go? And so that then is going to be 10, well, 1,000. And then it's going to be minus 0.001 times 100 to the third divided by 3. And so that gives us a total of, now they want it probably in whole dollars, so that's going to be 66. Well, the whole number is 0.666, so that's going to be about $667 for the consumer surplus. Okay, so that's going to be this one. Now, if we want the producer surplus, we're going to go from 0 to 100. And now we're going to go and subtract the other way. So we're going to take our P, which is our 15, minus our S of X, which is going to be the 5 plus that. So we have a minus 5 minus 0.1x dx. And again, it's minuses, so I changed the signs and just put it in here. And so that's going to be 15 minus 5 is 10. Integral, that's 10x. And now we have minus 0.1x squared over 2 from 0 to 100. And so that'll be 10 times 100 minus 0.1 times 100 squared over 2. The zeros cancel, so now we just have 1,000 minus 0.1 times 100 squared divided by 2. So that gives us an even $500. Okay. And so that's going to be the producer surplus, whereas this is going to be our consumer surplus. Okay. All right, so that's all I have for this section. Hopefully that will help you.